All right, I want to welcome everybody to the stream. Thanks for watching this video. What we did was we recorded some videos, and unfortunately, what we found out was that there was no sound. As you see right there, that's me talking. There's no sound. There's game sound. There's everything else, but there's no sound. So we did this whole loot box show, and there's no sound. So now we're gonna do a little voiceover over what we recorded already. And so that is the premise of this video. This is a loot box reveal show, and we're gonna get to it. So we had some loot boxes that we got to show during this, and it's gonna be interesting because I gotta watch it again with you as if I'm watching it for the first time. So one legendary loot box is something that we had. We had 14 anniversary loot boxes, 58 loot boxes, normal loot boxes, and that was another 14. All right, so right now we're just going through looking at what loot boxes we had at that time. And then after this, I believe what I'm going to do is show exactly what it is that I'm trying to get. I have no idea why I'm flipping through so many loot boxes, but I'm probably doing the math right here of saying this is how many loot boxes we're going to open. And this is, so we got 73 loot boxes at that time, and we're going to open 41 loot boxes. So that's going to leave 32 loot boxes remaining. And that is definitely what I'm doing at this moment, doing the math in my head. Now we're back at the loot box screen again, counting which ones we're going to do and which one we're going to open. So now here we go. Now we're going to Hero Gallery, and I know exactly what I'm doing right here. This is where I'm trying to figure out what I want. Sombra is my main, so we're of course looking for all the best Sombra skins that we can get. And we're going through looking at what I do have, what I don't have, and looking at this. Out of the Sombra skins, there's not really any left that I really want. I mean, really not many. The Mexicana is really good, but that's about it. Then we like Widow. We just got the Black Lily, so we're down to trying to get definitely the Italian. The Scorpion's not bad. The Beach Wear is definitely something that we want. And then from there, there's not really another Widow skin we will want. Tracer, we like playing with Tracer too. She's got a few that we like. And Graffiti's okay. Definitely want all the old school Overwatch outfit costumes for any character that has one. The Halloween is definitely nice for Halloween coming. And Track and Field's not bad. So, Tracer has some good skins and that we actually like. Moving up along Farrah, we began liking Farrah, so looking at some of the skins that she's got, she doesn't have too many. The Aviator is definitely one of the best that we like, and we also like the Enchanted Armor. So those are two good skins we would like. That is definitely nice. The Carbon Fiber, nice skin right there. The purple for sure. Anything purple we love. So can we get that? Then let's see. May is another character we like. Looking through the skins that she has. The only thing I think we actually want is the pajama one. Pajama May is the only one that we actually want out of May of all the costumes she's got. And maybe the Christmas one for when Christmas rolls around. And the challenge is definitely a Smite costume. So let's give a shout out to Smite while we're out here watching Overwatch. Flipping through other characters we may like. And it looks like those were the only ones we were looking forward to get. So for this loot box show, we were doing something different and grading the loot boxes. So here we go. We're going to actually try to grade the loot boxes. I may be a little loud in the mic. We'll turn that down later. All right, here we go. So we got a spray, voice line. That loot box is definitely a F loot box. We're not going to use anything in there. And based off of how we end up doing the grading is A, B, C, D, E, F. Or I know E, F. So what will we use in this? How important was this loot box? Voice line, a skin, not bad for a wrecking ball. The colors are actually pretty cool. Voice line and a spray for the skin itself that is at least That's a C level loot box. Next loot box. Looks like we got 4 voice lines, a wrecking ball, a widow, and a diva. So that one was definitely a D. We probably won't use any of those. Barely use voice lines. Here we go, another. We got a victory pose diva, which is cool. That's not bad. Then we got a spray for Anna, and it looks like we want that because of the times that we're in. And we add that to her. And then we have another spray for Brig, and that's probably about a C level loot box. So next we have 3 voice lines and so a spray, player icon. That's player icon, Symmetra voice line. So we got 3 voice lines and a player icon. We'll never use a player icon and the spray. So that's gonna be. We could use the voice line. So this is gonna be a C. And here we go. We have a voice line for Mercy, spray for Lucio, a player icon, and a spray. We won't use a player icon, and we don't use sprays. So that's definitely a D because the voice line will keep it from getting a complete F. All right, here we go. Next loot box. We have cash rules everything around me cream. Get the money, y'all. All right, so we got currency. We got a spray for Reinhardt. We have an emote for Hanzo. That's pretty cool. And we have a spray. So we got the cash. That's a good, and the emote. So that is definitely a good B level. And we're actually adding it, so it's definitely a B level loot box, as we did actually use something out of it. Here we go. Now we have a spray, a player icon, and a spray. This is definitely an F level, as we don't use sprays and we don't use player icons. Next loot box. All right, we have a player icon. We have a spray for Doomfist, which is the Dragon Punch, which is phenomenal. We're gonna give this an A just for having that. That is just amazing. And look, we're adding it to it, so he's definitely, that's a B at least. And let's see what the emote is. Oh, we got the sit down waiting emote for Mora. So we're adding that. She's one of the ones we didn't have. This is no doubt 2 things added. That is definitely a B level loot box right there. That is a phenomenal loot box. And because we wanted that, we're gonna get that a B plus for sure. So next loot box. All right, looks like we got a skin for Sigma. It's really nice. That's pretty dope. Skins bring you up. We have a spray, never gonna use. Cash rules everything around me cream. Got some currency, and we got a spray. That is definitely a good B level loot box right there. Next up. All right, we have a player icon, a spray, and it looks like a victory pose. Yep, for Sigma. That's pretty cool. Actually pretty nice. And a spray. So the victory pose, not sure if I add this or not during this time, but the sprays and the player icons definitely low level. So that was probably about a C for the C because of the victory pose keeps it from being lower. So we got a spray here for Diva, a spray here for, looks like, McCree, another spray for Zarya, and then we have a victory pose for Sombra. Anything Sombra, automatic A. So that is definitely a plus. Next up, we have a spray, a victory pose for Reaper right here. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. We like the Reaper victory pose. Then we have a spray, and then we have That's a spray for Tracer. Oh, Emily, we're definitely adding that. This just moved up. This just moved up in the world right here. And then we got a voice line for Ash, and we got cash rules, everything around me. This is 3 things in this that we would use, and the voice line makes it 4. This is going to be an A. That would be an A loot box. Now, next loot box up, we have a victory pose for Sigma. We have a voice line for Turborn. Cash, we'll skip that. We have a voice line for Anna, and we got cash rules, everything around me, Cream. So that the voice lines, even though we use them, they're not great, but we like them. And there's the cash rules. So that is definitely an A for 4 things that we probably would use. Loot box again. Here we go. Next loot box. We have a spray, player icon, and a spray. And this is definitely an F, as we will use none of that. Next up, we have a spray, a voice line, a player icon, and a spray. Voice line for Farah. And the voice line keeps it from being an F. It's a D because we at least could use the Farah voice line. Here we go. Next one up. All right, look at this. This might come out pretty good. A victory pose, a spray for Baptiste, and a player icon. So victory pose for Widow. Since we like Widow, you're already at a C for what's in the thing. So not bad victory pose for Widow. Checking it out. I must have really liked this, as I won't get off of it. And then we have a skin. Oh, that's pretty nice. It actually matches the Hammond skin that we almost get. It was blue, wasn't really purplish, but it had the orange in it. So that right there is definitely 2 things we would use. We wouldn't use the player icon or the spray, so we got to keep that at a. We'll give it a B. Next up, we have a voice line for Mora. Spray, a player icon, and a voice line for Hanzo. And once again, we'll use the voice lines, and there was 2, so we'll give that a D. All right, here we go. We got spray. So we wouldn't use that. It's pretty dope, though. It's actually pretty nice for Sigma. It's not bad. We have a player icon. We have a voice line for Reinhardt. And we have cash rules, everything around me, Cream. And so that's a be a C. That's close. That's a low C. Could be a D. And I can tell that I am debating that in the conversation. Like, there's 2 things we would use. The cash really helps out, but we're not going to use the player icon. We're not using spray. So you got 2 things you're not going to use. 2 things, 1 you will actually use, and 1 maybe. So here we go. Next up, we have a skin, a spray, and a voice line. Bastion voice line. Now look, right now, we have the skin. This is legit. The Scarecrow Junkrat, that is a legit skin. That is one that we like. And so this loot box really paid off. And a Sombra skin. That is definitely an A loot box, as we got 2 things we will actually use, especially for our main character. And she's not wearing shoes in this one. Really nice skin. And the Junkrat skin, that was well worth that loot box on its own. That alone would have probably got this up to an A or a very high B level. And the voice line, it's a nice little touch. So that was definitely an A loot box. Next loot box up. All right, we have a spray, a player icon, and a voice line. Looking at this loot box is definitely a D. The voice line's the only thing that's keeping it from being an F, as we may use it and we may never use it, but because we have the opportunity to use it is why it will be a D level. because we're never using the player icon. There's 3 things out of 4 we're not using in this, even though the wanted poster is pretty good, pretty decent. But when are you doing the sprays? All right, next up. All right, looks like we got 2 voice lines, a player icon, and a spray. So voice line Widow, let them eat cake. Voice line Orisa. All right, that is definitely gonna be a C level loot box right there. Nothing too fancy. 2 things we might use, 2 things we'll never use. So we're gonna give that right in the middle for a C. Next up. Oh, look at this loot box right here. This is fancy. You got a skin, a voice line, money. We have a spray for Ash. That's not bad. That's actually pretty good, just like the Roadhog we just seen. That's actually pretty dope. We have a voice line for Sombra, our main character. And then we have a skin for Reaper, the mariachi, which is great. That is an awesome skin right there. That is phenomenal. That is really good for this loot box. Look at this loot box. And then we have cash rules everything around me. 500 currency. Look at that. That is 2 skins at 250. So that loot box right there is an A+. That's going to be hard to beat. That may be you get a skin, plus you can buy 2 smaller skins. That's pretty good. Or if you're looking for $1,000 skin, you're halfway there at the 500 that you already got. The voice line with your main characters that you most likely will use. That is 3 things. And the Ash wanted poster isn't that bad for a spray if you're into sprays, but we're not. But that is definitely an A+. That's an A+. Next up. That was a pretty good loot box right there. Next up we have, all right, looks like we got a spray, cash, and a spray. So let's see. Cash rules everything around me, 150. We just got 500 in the last one, and then you get another 150. You're almost close to that $1,000 that you need to get a nice skin. And then you got the green Farah skin. That's pretty dope. Anything green, you know we're gonna rock. So that's a good loot box right there. You got a skin that you'll actually wear, plus you got cash. That's got to be a B. The sprays you're never gonna use, but they're not bringing this one down too bad. So that's definitely a B level. B level loot box. Yeah, here we go. Next loot box. What am I thinking about right here? That's a good question. What is going on in my mind as I'm sitting looking at this loot box? I don't know. I can't remember what the conversation I was having with myself was at this time. All right, here we go. Loot box. Boom. All right, so we have a player icon, a voice line, looks like a intro, and then a spray itself. So that I do what I must. Hanzo voice line. We have a spray, and then an emote. All right, that's pretty cool for Doomfist. He doesn't have all his emotes filled, so we could use that. So now Doomfist has an emote, and we have that. So that's, and we loaded that up. So it's going to be a low B because there's nothing else in there we're really using. Almost a C level, but the emote itself, because we loaded it up, got to, it's got to be at least a really low B. B minus, C plus almost. Next loot box up. All right, looks like we have a player icon, a spray, another spray, and cash rules everything around me, cream, another 150. If you add that to the 500 plus the other 150, you're at 800 now. You're 200 away from being able to get $1,000 skin. And that, this loot box, Really wouldn't use too much in that, so that was probably a C. The cash makes up for it. All right, switching over to the anniversary boxes, and this is big boxes right here. There's 14 of them. I'm pretty sure I opened all of them. Here we go. We got the voice line for Mora. We got the voice line for Zarya. We have cash rules everything around me. Cream, another 150. Now you're 50 away from 1,000. And a victory pose for Junkrat. Put that in there with the Halloween outfit you got. Also, that's a good solid B plus A, because it's gonna be seasonal. That's definitely a B plus, high B. Next up, we got player icon. We have a spray, a player icon, and a voice line for Soldier. And that is definitely a D. That is a D loot box right there. Compared to the last one that you just had, this is definitely a D. D level. All right, next up. All right, look at this loot box. This is amazing. A highlight intro for May. A voice line for Mora. A skin for Farah. Look at that. That is a nice skin right there. And a victory pose for Doomfist with the fireworks. Well, that would have worked for the 4th of July. Oh, that's pretty nice. That is pretty nice right there. And the highlight intro for May going up. That's a good loot box right there. That's a very good loot box right there. That is definitely an A loot box, because there is 4 things in that you can actually use. We will more than likely use 3 of them. And that's a good loot box. That's an A loot box. Next loot box. So it looks like we got 2 voice lines, a victory pose, and another voice line. So Reaper. A Bastion. An Orisa voice line, and a victory pose for Mercy. That's pretty cool. That is going to be, that's a C. You know, we're going to use probably all 4 things in there, but there's no need to. You know, I don't think that's the best Mercy victory pose that we have. Maybe, actually. I'm going to have to check on that. But that's about a C. Next one up. All right, here we go. We got a player icon. And that won't use either one of those. We have a voice line for Pharaoh. And then we have a victory pose for Turborn. And that's really good. He's hugging his turret. That's not bad. That's actually really good. This is, you know, the Turborn is really good, so we'll give it a B. That was tough. Could have been a C, but we'll give it a B. Here we go. Next one up. 2 voice lines, a player icon, and a spray. Looks like a voice line for Symmetra. Voice line for Widow. And 2 sprays. That's gonna actually be a D. I mean, we're never gonna use the voice lines for real unless we really, really like them. And there's 2 things we wouldn't use. Here we go. Victory pose Echo. A voice line for Roadhog, and a voice line for Doomfist, and a skin for Hammond. Now this, right now, just looking at it, if you just look at it, this is at least a B low A. The Hammond skin is amazing. Here's the Roadhog voice line. Here is the Doomfist voice line. And look at this skin. It's tricked out Hammond. High roller Hammond. Gold plated. He's got the shades on. That is a quality skin. Got gold bullets. That's worth it. That's a good skin. That's a good skin right there. Can't even complain about that. That's a very good skin. And then over here we got the victory pose for Echo. She's just squatting down. We don't have a victory pose for Echo, so that's a pretty good box right there. That is a high roller. Is nice, so we'll give that a. That's tough. We're gonna give it a B because two things we may not use in it. And the Echo we're only using because we don't have anymore. So we'll give that a B. Next up, looks like we have an emote, a voice line, a player icon, and currency. So voice line Baptiste. Cash rolls everything around me. Cream. Another 500 currency. That is just crazy right there. That is actually really crazy. So you're way past your $1,000 that you need to buy something. And here is a diva emote. We like divas emotes. Let's go ahead and load that up. So that is two things we're definitely using, and one we may use. That is going to be a B. The 500 will be like, that actually is two skins. So we'll give that a A actually. Let's change that to an A. Back up. All right, here we go. Looks like we have a victory pose, a voice line, an emote, and more cash. See out a voice line. Cash rules everything around me. Got 50 currency on that. Emote for Symmetra. Oh, she's dancing. Okay. All right, load that up. Boom. Something to get loaded. And a victory pose. Reinhardt Toast victory pose. Got a big mug. That's pretty nice, actually. We can use that for one of our bourbon specials. So that was definitely a good B loot box. Here we go again. Look at this. This is, you can just tell it's quality. Cash rules everything around me. A voice line Saria. A skin for Zenyatta. And that is really good right there. Quality. That is a good skin right there. And a victory pose with a cat mug for Brig. This is A. This is an A. You use a cat, you win. You got it. She's got a cat mug. And that's an A loot box. 4 anniversary loot boxes to go. Let's look, how do you go from that to this? You got a player icon, a spray, a player icon, and a spray. I mean, even though that's Widow and a Lucio, that was definitely an F. Next up, we didn't even stay on that long enough. All right, next up, we have a spray for Doomfist. We have a spray for Diva. It's not bad. We have a voice line for Junkrat that we're gonna lock in. So you see, we do use them. And then we have a skin for Anna. And look at that skin. That's amazing. Another Halloween skin. That's gonna be really good to have during Halloween. This loot box is, the skin on itself is gonna make it a C. We'll actually use the skin, so, but that's the only thing. When we loaded up the Junkrat, so we got to give that a B. We're going to have to give that a B because we did load up the Junkrat. All right, 2 anniversary loot boxes left. All right, here we go, and look at this. We got a player icon, a spray, player icon, and a voice line. Yep, that is going to be a D because of the voice line, but we're not going to use any of those. Next up, last anniversary loot box. We have voice line for Genji. Voice line for McCree. Player icon. Oh, look at that. We must have really liked this McCree voice line. All right, here we go. And then another spray. So because we loaded up the McCree, we're gonna give this a C. But that's it. All right, that's the anniversary loot boxes are done. And I believe we have one legendary anniversary box to do. And let's see what we get here. All right, this is the legendary box. We got a voice line. We have a player icon. We have a skin for Turborn. It's not bad, just coloration. And we have an emote for Tracer. All right, so we're definitely gonna load up the emote. Got a skin and a voice line. You know what? That is, we're gonna say it's a B, but it's really a C level. That was pretty decent. And I want to appreciate everybody for watching this video. We are definitely on our way to doing our next loot box show very soon, as soon as we get 41 loot boxes, and we're really close at 37, and you'll know we're at 41 when the next loot box show is uploaded after this. And really appreciate everybody's support of the channel. Make sure you like any other videos that you watch that you enjoy. Please leave a comment. Any recommendations, you can send it to smittylatimer on Twitter, and we'll look at it and check it out and do what we can in order to get you guys to watch more of our videos. So thank you for watching this video, and good night.